What is a trust? Well, one way to think about it is a trust is a will substitute, meaning it does a lot of the same things that a will does, but a trust is different in some critical ways. So in a will, what you're doing is you're saying two big things. Who is going to be in charge of distributing my estate when I pass away? And who is getting what? Your distribution. That's what happens with a will. Now, a will, though, will have to go through the court process called probate. And probate is like any other lawsuit where it gets a case number, there's a judge assigned, and there's a certain timeline with requirements by the probate court. The probate judge will essentially validate the will and implement the instructions in the will, meaning we'll have to approve what the will says, make sure that it's valid. The court and probate will also make sure that any creditors are paid. There's a process for that. There's also a publication process to make sure that any creditors out there will be made known that you passed away. Probate also is public so that anyone can find out the particulars of your debts, your assets. So that's how probate works. The trust is designed to avoid going to probate court. And it's similar to a will in that you're going to name who's in charge, and that's called a successor trustee. And you're also going to have in there what your distribution is, meaning who gets what. But with a trust, we're going to also have a lot more provisions in there that deal with incapacity planning, which is very important. And a trust is also going to avoid probate. So a trust is a private document. It's handled without having to go to court. And the person that you name will be able to step in typically immediately, within days, to start implementing all of the instructions that you've put in your trust. So it goes a lot faster. It's also less expensive in the long run when you have a trust because there's no court mandated fee like there is in probate. In probate, we have a whole schedule of fees that get paid through the probate court. But with a trust, you don't have that because we're not going to court. So we don't have to pay the same kind of fees with a trust that would have to be paid by going through probate. So where a will is a public document, a trust is a private document. They are similar in what they're trying to achieve. It's just that there's a different process for how we implement a will versus how we implement a trust.